Okay. So after 3 years when we meet, I don't know how to begin. So we begin with a little story today. This is a story about a woman who, as a young lady, used to very happily sing the song of Billy Ocean. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. But the impact of this song was most felt by her during COVID times, times of insecurity, anxiety, fear, because she had an ailing mother for whom she had undying love. The sun would rise with her mother and it would set with her mom. And she gave her all to her mother because, to quote her, Jivta Jivat, give your 100% to the person you love. Because once the person transitions, there should be no regrets. And then her mother moved over. But the very next day, this woman got up and promised herself that from today, I will strive to make each and every day a happy one. Because I alone can determine how happy my day will be. And then happiness was not a destination for her, but it just became a way of life. Ladies and gentlemen, the M.J Wadia Agiary Trust has immense pleasure in welcoming all of you today. The function is yours, the theme of which is happiness, a way of life. Let us all seize this moment and let us not wait for a happy moment, but make this very moment a happy one. Because happiness is actually within us. Happiness is now. So I request Mr. Jamshed Kotwal to come up and give us a very happy song. A person who has lived by the maxim, real happiness lies in making others happy.
વાલા સાંભળીનો 3 વર્ષ પછી તમને બધાને જોઈને આઈ એમ ઓલ્સો ફિલિંગ હેપી. તો મે મહિનો ને મે રોજના સુકનવંતા દિવસે આપણે એક હસી ખુશીનું ગીત ગાઈએ. ખુશાલીનો આજે મેમાર છે, દિવસ મુબારક આજનો ધામધૂમથી. રૂડો અવસર આજ તમારે દ્વાર છે, દિવસ મુબારક આજનો ધામધૂમથી. ખુશી ખુશાલીનો આજે મેમાર છે, દિવસ મુબારક આજનો ધામધૂમથી. રૂડો અવસર આજ તમારે દ્વાર છે, દિવસ મુબારક આજનો ધામધૂમથી. રૂડા અવસરને ફૂલે વધાવો, રૂડા અવસરને ફૂલે વધાવો. નાચો ગાવો ખુશી મનાવો, નાચો ગાવો ખુશી મનાવો. રૂડા અવસરને फूले बनाओ नाचो गाओ खुशी मनाओ नाचो गाओ खुशी मनाओ खुशी नो बार छे हसता नाल छे दिवस मुबारक આજનો નામ ધૂમથી ખુશી ખુશાલી નો આજે મહેમાન છે દિવસ મુબારક આજનો નામ ધૂમથી प्यारा मेहमानो भले पधारो प्यारा मेहमानो भले पधारो शुभ कामना देव साथे तमारो शुभ कामना देव साथे तमारो प्यारा मेहमानो भले पधारो शुभ कामना देव साथे तमारो शुभ कामना देव साथे तमारो दोस्तीओનો સદા જયકાર છે દિવસ મુબારક આજનો નામ ધૂમથી ખુશી ખુશાલીનો આજે મહેમાન છે દિવસ મુબારક આજનો નામ ધૂમથી छातो पानी लेने मुर्गी मच्छी खाजो छातो पानी लेने मुर्गी मच्छी खाजो दोस्त ना पलौडा साथे आइसक्रीम भी खाजो दोस्त ना पलौडा साथे आइसक्रीम भी खाजो मोती पेरामणी करवा पारसीओ दिलदार छे દિવસ મુબારક આજનો નામ ધૂમથી ખુશી ખુશાલીનો આજે મહેમાન છે દિવસ મુબારક આજનો નામ ધૂમથી દૂધો અવસર આજ તમારે દ્વાર છે દિવસ મુબારક આજનો નામ ધૂમથી દિવસ મુબારક આજનો નામ ધૂમથી દિવસ मुबारक આજનો નામ ધૂમથી
It's different things to different people. For some, happiness is just sitting at home with a nice cup of tea, garam garam chai patti, Fudna tea. For some, bhajia also, okay, granted. For some, it is listening to soft music. For the youngsters, it is just cuddling your little pet. And for the elderly people, I think just the face of your grandchild gives immense happiness. There are 1,000 reasons for us to be happy. We just have to pick one reason each day and we can truly be happy. Today, I choose this reason to be really happy. So, with happiness as our backdrop, I now request Trustee of the M.J Wadia Agiary, Chairman Trustee, Mr. Kersi Limatwala, Course Director, Structured Religious Course Director, Erwa Dr. Ramiyarkaranjia, and our M.J Wadia Agiary Pantaki, Erwa Kersi Bhada, to please come up and sit on the dais. We'll need the mic. "15 glorious years, actually 15 years, and this is possible only because of two persons. Mr. Kersi Limatwala, who actually visioned this get-together, and Edward Dr. Ramya Karanja, without whom this would just not have been possible. So, I would like to call Mr. Kersi Limatwala, Chairman Trustee, to tell us what is his take on happiness.
This mic is sorry. We just made it. After seeing, am I audible? After seeing this film, so, this will also be required. Okay. Then I think thank you. After seeing this film, I am overwhelmed. I'm sure all of you all must be too. And I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank one and all who is present here and all who are not present here who have made this possible over 15 glorious years. So, a big hand to all of you. Edward Ramya Karanjia, Dr. Ramya Karanjia, Edward Kersi Bada, and I would say our religious class family, because 15 years has made us into a family. And what pleased me today was, before coming up, was to see so many devotees in the Agiary on a Monday evening at a not a very convenient time to see so many of you all in this Agiary. As you know, today is Mer Mahino, Mer Roj. We keep on explaining year after year what Mer Mahino and Mer Roj is. I will not dwell into that. But as you all know, Mer Yazad is one of the most powerful Yazads, and the very few Yazads after whom we also have a month. There are very few Yazads besides the Amisha Spanda, and Mer Yazad is one of them. Mer Yazad, as you know, stands for relationship, which we all value here, friendship, justice, etc. I will not dwell on that, as I said. Today's subject is happiness. It's such a simple thing. Everyone wants to be happy. Who doesn't want to be happy? Who wants to be miserable? But still, is everyone really happy? Is everyone really happy? There is something always lacking, wanting. If I would get this, if I would get that, if I would be this, I would be that, I would be very happy. There is no complete happiness in everyone. And what is the reason for that? I think one of the main reasons is our expectations are in excess of our fulfillment. We expect more and more from life. Our wants and desires keep on increasing, and it's never ending. So, if you go to see, this is one of the main reasons why we are not as happy as we should be. And what happens is this creates a sort of emptiness within us. We are not full. There is an emptiness within us because of wanting and more and desires. But remember one thing, life gives you what you deserve and not what you desire. That is the tagline. Life gives you what you deserve, not what you desire. And I would summarize this by saying that we all have chosen a role that we want to play in life. And whatever situation we are, on account of that chosen position, I think what is most important is we have to play that role. If you are a student, as some small children are there, you do your studies, you play your games. When you play your games, you play your game in a fair way. Don't cheat. When you do your studies, do it with all concentration. Don't waver. Whatever you are doing, do well. If when you grow up, you go to college, you do a job, you do your job, whether you are a boss or you are a servant. As I said, you will be where you are destined to be. If you are a boss, play your role as a boss. Be humane to people who work under you. If you are a person who is working under someone, do your job diligently. If you are a husband, do your duty as a husband. If you are a father, do your duty as a father. Similarly, if you are a wife, if you are a mother, do your duty as your mother. And because you have chosen that roles. Nobody has pushed you to getting married. Nobody has pushed you to getting children. It is your choice. This is very important in our Zoroastrian religion. That we have freedom of choice, and once we make the choice, we should be responsible for the choice that we have made. So once you've made the choice, and once you have a role to play in life, whatever your station is in life, play it well, play your role well, and leave unto the Lord the rest. You cannot ensure the fruits of your labor, but you can be diligent to what you do in life. That is, according to me, one of the ways of being happy. Now, let me give you an example of Scandinavia. As you know where Scandinavia is, Norway, Sweden, Finland, very cold countries. Now, the people of Scandinavia are the happiest people in the world. Are you all aware? People of Scandinavia are the happiest people in the world. Now, you may ask, what is the reason? Scandinavia is not the richest nation. It is not the most powerful nation. In fact, Scandinavian countries have the highest tax rates compared to the world. The highest income tax rates are in Scandinavia. But in spite of that, people are very happy. So, a lot of research, a lot of study was made as to find out why people in Scandinavia are so happy. And they found out that they are so focused within themselves, they don't mind other people's business. Then they don't compare themselves with others. And they are law abiding and love nature. These are a few attributes of Scandinavian people. And what has happened today is the world has started looking to them. And as you know, amongst the big nations of the world, we have a gross domestic product, which is the strength, the productivity of a country, the gross domestic product. On the basis of the gross domestic product, a country's worth, economic worth, is measured. But today, people have started looking from the gross domestic product towards gross domestic happiness. Okay, what is the gross domestic happiness of the people of that country? Just because you are the richest, as I said, you are the most economically, militarily strong, that doesn't make you the happiest people in the world. So, the world has started looking towards this. And in our own Zoroastrian religion, to be happy, in fact, it is said that Aura Mazda wants everyone to be happy. You must have observed there are no abstinence of deprivation in our religion, in our community. You enjoy life, you be happy, but do everything in moderation. What is important, as I mentioned earlier, the freedom of choice is given to you. You will be responsible for whatever decisions that you take in life. And finally, the tagline in our Zoroastrian religion, happiness unto him who makes others happy. Usta mai, ya mai, usta kamai chi. Before I take my seat, Roxanne likes stories. So I will narrate two short stories. One for the children who are here and one for the elders. For the children, the story is that in a classroom, the teacher gave balloons to all the children. And she told the children, blow the balloons, and then after you blow the balloons, tie them up, write your name on the balloons. So all the children did that. Then in a class of about 100 children, all the balloons were mixed. All the balloons were mixed. And then the children were told to search the balloon. After a few minutes, the teacher called them, get your balloons. Not a single child had the balloon. Not a single child. Then the teacher said, okay, don't worry. Now what you do is, whichever balloon you find, you give it to the child whose name is written on that balloon. So within a few minutes, everyone had that balloon. So the teacher said, okay, in life, happiness is like the balloons. If you give happiness to others, you will get happiness yourself. So this is a short story for the children. Now, a story for the elders. Now there was this lady who was very good looking, very rich, and she goes to a psychiatrist that she is very depressed. So the psychiatrist, when she comes to her, calls one of the lady in the room who was cleaning the floor. An old lady was cleaning the floor. And she told that old lady who was cleaning the floor that tell this young lady who is so beautiful, so rich, that why she is depressed and why you are so happy. So that old lady said that many years back, my husband died of cancer. Within 3 months, my only son died in an accident. And that was the end of the world for me. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know what was to smile also. I was driven to such a point that I wanted to take away my life. But then she said one day, when I was returning home from doing my small chores, a small cat started following me. So I let the cat follow me. She followed me right up to my house. It was a cold night, so I decided to let the cat in and gave her some milk in a bowl. The cat lapped all the milk, and after she had finished the milk, she took her paw and caressed that lady on her feet. And that lady said that I was so touched that after so many months, I smiled when that cat put her paw on my foot. So, this old lady said that I started thinking to myself that if a cat could make me smile, I am sure if I do something to fellow beings, that would make me happy. So the next day what she did was, she baked some cookies and gave it to her neighbor who was bedridden. And this started happening on a daily basis. She started doing something or the other for someone to make that person happy. And that totally changed her life. She said, today I consider myself to be the happiest woman in the world. I sleep the way nobody sleeps so soundly. I clean the floor. I am not ashamed of doing what I am doing. But I am happy doing what I am doing. So, friends, what is important is, the beauty in life is is important is not to be happy, but to see how other people are being happy because of you. That is the essence of life. Happiness, of course, is important for you, but what is more important is how others are happy because of you. And as Roxanne mentioned, happiness is not a journey, but I would end it by saying it is. I'm sorry. She said happiness is a journey, but I would correct her and say that yes, happiness is a journey. It is not a destination. It is not a destination. It is a journey. It has to go on and on in life. Thank you.
As I said, if it weren't for the vision of Mr. Limatwala to have us all under one roof and learn about religion and religious information, we wouldn't have been here. So, ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Mr. Limatwala and for all that he has always been doing for us. I know of a daughter who was most upset that Dastuji kai thai gyo ratna, so what do we do? And there is a Dasturji who actually said, don't worry, ratna bar hoy ke be hoy, you just call me, હું ડુંગરવાડી પર મોકલી દેવાસ. I said, I mean, that daughter said, really? And he said, yeah. And true to his word, Edward Kersey Bhada, day or night, anytime you call him, he will ensure that the work is done. Ladies and gentlemen, this Agiary is largely also because of Edward Kersey Bhada. A round of applause for him as well. I had the good fortune of asking a lot of our course participants as to what happiness was for them. And their answers were strikingly amazing. They made me wonder as to whether these qualities would really give us happiness. And one such quality was forgiveness. We have to ask for forgiveness for the wrongs that we have done. But more importantly, we also have to forgive the person who has wronged us. Because when we forgive the person, we are actually forgiving our own selves of the torture of having to replay the same hurt, the same harm over and over again. Says this participant, happiness is ours if we only accept the situation, we forgive the person, we forget about that event, and we let go. Because when we let go, we connect ourselves to God. And talking of God, I can think of no one better than ever Dr. Ramiyarkaranjia, who has brought us closer and closer to God with each successive year. Dr. Karanjia, please.
A very good evening to one and all of you. Yazdan Panabad and Merangan Parab Mubarak to all. When I was in college, a cartoon strip used to come, Happiness Is. Do you remember? Happiness Is. It was very cute, very loving, and sometimes it reached right into your heart. As Roxanne says, we need reasons to be happy, and for Lalbagh class, she gave quite a few, but I have a couple more. Happiness is the word Kersi. How do you like it? Because we have at least 3 Kersis over here who make us happy day in and day out. You all have guessed it, I don't need to say. First, of course, the life and soul of our program, Mr. Limatwala. Second, Mr. Kersi Gazdar. And third, Mr. Kersi Bada, who is always very supportive and cooperative. Next, happiness is. And that many people remarked when we come every year. Everything works like clockwork precision over here. This is something rare that we see. There is a sort of cohesiveness over here. And I always say, yes, there is. And the reason for that is, we have a good boss and we have wonderful colleagues. This place is blessed with a boss and colleagues who can work together without fighting with each other. So happiness is a good boss and good colleagues. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I don't even think that 15 years have passed. Doesn't seem so. Roxanne कहते नहीं तो मालूम भी नहीं पड़ता. Mr. Limatwala is a person who is, as a good boss should be, as a good father figure should be, watch from a distance. Help whenever approached. Don't interfere when the work is being done well. And I think that is perhaps his motto everywhere. And that is why this class has flourished, number one, because of his guidance. Whenever we seek his guidance, it is always there. And secondly, we have wonderful people like Roxanne, Darius. And if I name some of you, I'm sure I'll leave out most of you. Because there are at least a dozen people over here, the teachers and other other helpers, who have made this class a wonderful place to be in. So thank you all very much for this wonderful journey. And in this journey, 4 or 5 years back, joined Mr. Anos Patel with the idea of a kids class. Originally, the idea of the kids class was Mr. Anos Patel and Mr. Dara Mehta, who unfortunately could not be with us over here, and Mr. Ustam. And is Mr. Dara Mehta here? No. So that also started as a germ, and of course with the always the cooperation of Mr. Limatwala. Like everything else, it grew and grew, and it keeps on growing thanks to the leadership of Mr. Darius Desai. Thank you. And his wonderful team. Is the team here, please? Will you please stand up, because I want to acknowledge all of you. Darius, will you please introduce your team? The team of teachers for the class. Hutakshi, Doctor. Cyrus.
Nargesh Alasya.
Cyrus.
And Cyrus Siganporia is there for me. Shirin Dordi was missing, and of course our life of the Kanama stories, Mr. Neville Mystery.
Mayor contractor.
And Mayor Contractor, yes.
As I said, we will leave the names off, because there are many.
You'll see them later.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll see them later. Okay, thank you. Now my duty is very brief over here. to just take you through the last year. Last year we had a good year. We did Yasna 34. We finished Gatha Aunavaiti after several years. We finished the Avayash. We have summarized it already. And Shahnameh we started with King Yazdagat II. And we are now running on King Khushru, Naushirwan. Congratulations to all the participants for completing the 15th year. This new year, we are having the topic of Ashishwang Yash. Now, Ashishwang Yash is a bit different from the other Yash we have done because, like as in Ava Yash, we are looking at Ashishwang Yazdat in greater depth. And of course, there are kings who are praying to her, but those are very few. So this Yash has a very different fabric to it. Then we have the Ushtavat Gatha, half 43. And of course, in history, we will continue with Shahnameh, King Khushru Naushirwan, a bit of history, a bit of the Shahnameh. The trust has very graciously said that the fees will be the same as last year. So, those who have registered have already registered. Those who want to register can register later on. The meditation course goes on every month on the last Sunday of the month, conducted by Mr. Yazdi Munsif. So those who are part of the class are automatically can join this meditation course. Of course, Roxanne is the coordinator in that also. So you can contact Roxanne for the meditation class. And I am happy to announce that after a brief hiatus, Mr. Jamshed Kotwal will once again start his Monajat sessions every time before our class, about half an hour before our class. So, Mr. Jamshed Kotwal, please. Thank you very much. And thank you, Roxanne and Darius, once again for the wonderful way you support this whole class. These classes will not have been possible without you. Today we are celebrating happiness. And happiness is something which is always, I'm sure, close to everybody's heart and of course close to my heart also. But some ground rules Mr. Limatwala also already shared. I have a couple more. First is, happiness doesn't come by itself. We have to work for it. Of course, Dadaji apni joli mein naakse koi happiness. But otherwise, the rule of the thumb is, we have to work for our happiness. It is very, very clear. And secondly, if you feel that you are happy, and I'm sure there are some people who feel that their happiness is unhappiness of somebody else. Really, that is true. Some people feel that, pelo unhappy thase to mane majja avse. Pelo unhappy. No, it's not a joke. It's a fact. There are such people. So, તેથી ગુજરાતીમાં એક કહેવત છે કે પર સુખે દુખી એ દાનવ પણ પર સુખે સુખી એ સંત. એટલે કોઈને સુખી એવને કહ્યું કે આપણે બીજાઓને સુખી કરવા જોઈએ. Of course, that has to go on. પણ કોઈના બીજાના સુખમાં કઈ બી રીતના આપણે કઈ બી હસ્તક્ષેપ નહીં નાખવો જોઈએ ને ડેફિનેટલી કોઈના બી સુખમાં દુઃખી નહીં થવું જોઈએ ને કોઈ બીજું સુખી હોય તો ઓન ધ કોન્ટ્રરી આપણે સુખી થવું જોઈએ કારણ કે તે માણસને ગુજરાતીમાં સંત કે a saintly man. It's a very high quality to of course strive and be happy and see others become happy, and if somebody becomes happier, somebody goes one notch ahead of you, it should be a matter of greater happiness for us. Happiness is the eternal quest of mankind. એરિસ્ટોટલનું નામ તો બધાએ સમજ્યું હશે, the Greek philosopher. એવને કહેલું છે કે happiness is the purpose of life and the aim of human existence. So don't feel shy in working for your happiness, fighting for your happiness, getting your happiness, doing your best to see that you are happy, because everybody has a right to be happy. And I do not say it. The American Constitution says that the American citizen has 3 basic rights: the right to life, the right to liberty, and the right to happiness. So it's each and every one of our right to really work for our happiness. And Zoroastrian religion is the religion of happiness. આપણી સૌથી basic prayer Hashem is about happiness. Start any prayer and it says happiness to Aura Mazda, Shnautra Aure Mazda. So wherever you go, wherever you see in our religion, you will be reminded of happiness here, there and everywhere. There are at least 5 to 6 words in the Avastan language talking about the different facets of happiness. And of course, there is one dedicated yazar for happiness. And that is Mino Ram yazar. The yazar dedicated to happiness. Of course, he has other portfolios also, but his main portfolio is happiness. So, જે રિલિજનમાં એટલું બધું હેપીનેસને વાસ્તે હોય, તે રિલિજનમાં રહીને we have of course to try and see that we become happier. And we always remember something in a formula. So, our best formula is the formula of the 7 Amesha Aspans. So, the 7 Amesha Aspans give us 7 attitudes which will help us to be happy. Aura Mazda, Dadar Aura Mazda. That reminds us of positivity and positive attitude. Without it, we can never be happy. Come what may, whatever the circumstances and situations of life, keep on reminding yourself, be positive. Blood group, કઈ બી હોય તમારું, A, O, હવે તો નવું blood group બી સમજો, Bombay blood group. It's there, it's since some time in the news, Bombay blood group. But whatever, you have to remember to just be positive. Brahman Ameshaspan reminds us to be calm and relaxed. That is the attitude we need to inculcate. Of course, at each and every turn of our life, we will find people who irritate, we'll find situations irritating, workplace, everywhere. But still, keep on reminding yourself, if you want to be happy, try to be calm and relaxed. Some people try to just laugh out loud, like how Baman Irani did in Munna Bhai. We don't need to do that. But we just need to keep reminding ourselves to be calm and relaxed. Ardibesht Amesha Aspan reminds us that there has to be a sense of purpose in life. To be happy, you really need something. A person, that's why it is noticed कि जे मानसो retire થઈ જાય છે ને તે લોકો ઘણા જ unhappy થઈ જાય because they feel that they have no purpose in life. But retirement is a concept we should kick out. There is nothing like retirement. We have to keep working for life. So, that is there. Sharevar Amesha Aspan, remind yourself to be strong. To be happy, you need to be strong. If you are weak, the whole world will pounce on you. And nobody will stand for you. You will have to stand for yourself. So, you have to make yourself strong from within and without. So, happiness requires being strong. Weak people are rarely happy. Then Spenta Armaiti, that is connecting with love. As Kersi Sir's one of the stories said, you need to connect. Even a cat could give you happiness. So if a cat could give you happiness, there are many other avenues open. So try and connect. But there are some people who forcefully want to connect to you, even if you don't want to connect to them. હવે રોક્સાને કહ્યું કે આપણે કેર્સીને એડવર્ડ કેર્સીને 12 વાગે ફોન કરીએ તો ચાલે. It is worst case scenario. સદર બિચારાની ઊંઘ ના ખરાબ કર્યા કરતા. It is worst case scenario. But there are people who just કે યાદ આવ્યું મને. I have had these experiences. રમેશ સાહેબ મને યાદ આવ્યું સારા 11 વાગે. મેં કહું માય this is not the time to phone. Please જા ધીરજથી કહેવું પડે. So seeking your happiness, you can't destroy somebody's happiness. But still, we have to, in a nice way, connect with love, with people, but not let people overwhelm you with their love. If you don't want somebody's love, you can say, okay, this much and no further. Khordad is very important. It is acceptance of imperfections. Khordad is perfection. But we should know that nothing and nobody is perfect. Knowing that we are still not accepting of somebody's imperfections, which could be anything. A child's imperfections, a grown-up's imperfections, an old person's imperfections. So, one of the roads to happiness is accept the imperfections. because nobody is perfect except Dada or Mr. And finally, Amar Dad. Amar Dad, the road to happiness which Amar Dad tells you is be aware of things around you which you can't see. There are several things in the world which are feelings, which are emotions, which are spiritual things, several things which we can't see. And there is another thing is that generally we call it immortality. But apart from that, there are several things within us, without us, which we can't see. So always keep reminding yourself that we always have to be aware and mindful of not just ourselves, but all the seen and unseen things around us. So with these 7 steps, if you try to inculcate these 7 steps, the 7 attitudes to life, which our Amish husbands are there to remind us, then I'm sure that our road to happiness will be a bit better. Thank you all very much for being there. And as Mr. Limitwala said, we all will hopefully connect and continue as a family till God wills. Thank you all very much. Yes, Dan Panaba.
Thank you, Erva Dr. Ramiyarkaranjia. The wheel of eternity goes on and on. We have the youngest person out here, Friana Kapadia. May we please have you here to do the floral tributes for Erva Dr. Ramiyarkaranjia. It's the wheel of eternity from grandfather to mother to granddaughter. A huge hand for Friana Kapadia, Mr. Limatwala's granddaughter. Gratitude is one thing which keeps us forever in a happy mode. Thank you very much, dignitaries, for being here. And we now request you to join the audience because I'm sure I'll forget 1,000 names for people whom I need to thank. So a small little thank you for everyone present here who has really helped all of us make these 15 years so glorious, so commendable. Haji.
I would like to thank Roxanne and Darius. Will you both please come up on stage here, please? Please come up on stage. Cyrus uncle, please fill her up, so. You will have to share this thing. Come in front. Please, Roxanne and Darius. Thank you all. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you once again, everyone. Can you see the screen?